with the exhibits. In late October 2021, there was an attempted break-in at the office. Someone tried to access the kitchen side of the office. The glass window was shattered by a stone. While there was an attempt to gain entry, the person was unsuccessful. The incident happened during the weekend when there were severe load shedding. The alarm would not have been working as a result. After I investigated the incident, I prepared a factual report which I sent to Brigadier Nuswa. I had called him to inform him about the incident. He seemed unfazed about it. There was no steps taken by the provincial office to enhance security, even when the attempted break-in happened. The attempted break-in should at least have raised an alarm at the provincial office and Brigadier Nuswa in particular. Immediate steps to ensure either the removal or the transfer of the exhibits or enhanced security should have been taken.
Can I just ask, perhaps, do you think that that break-in in October was somehow related to the one in November? Just
it would be very difficult for me to speculate on that one, but I do not think it was related. The way it was done, they broke the window with a rock, and then with the same rock trying to, it's quite thick burglar bars that we've got there, to try and force that open with that same rock, it wasn't going to work. So I don't think it was real professional people, but it's just speculation from my side. I don't know, I can't say.
Colonel, indeed it would be to speculate, but I would have treated it as perhaps it's someone testing your responses. And I'm surprised that none of the people in the chain got concerned about that. My first instinct, knowing that there's that kind of consignment in there, would have gone to maybe someone was just testing to see how we respond. And therefore I would have, taken steps to act instead of just sitting back.
Commissioner, that is a possibility.
Yeah. Thank you.
thank you. Please proceed.
Commissioners, on the 4th of November 2021, I received a call from Lieutenant Colonel Jacob, the one we spoke about earlier, from the Durban Serious Organized Crime Investigation. He informed me that he was appointed as the investigating officer, replacing Warrant Officer Pangase, presumably. He asked me when I will be available, as he needed to come to the office to weigh the exhibits. I told him that I was not available the following week, from the 8th to the 12th of November 2021, as I was going to a workshop. I told him that I would be available the week after that.
I don't think you read, I'm sorry, the whole of paragraph 77.
Shall I read it again, Commissioner?
Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Sikakane engaged you as soon as you had referred to the October 2021 attempted break-in. And then there's quite a lot there, even you again reporting the incident. I don't remember that being read into the record. Am I mistaken, Mrs. Kakan?
No, I did read the complete one.
You? I gave up this afternoon.
I can read it again, Commissioner. Can I read it?
No, if you read it, no, it's fine.
I think perhaps it's safer to read it all, Commissioner Chairperson. I think it's just to be on the safe side. Please, apologies, would you read it again?
In late October 2021, there was an attempted break-in at the office. Someone tried to access the kitchen side of the office. The glass window was shattered by a stone thrown. While there was an attempt to gain entry, the person was unsuccessful. This incident happened during the weekend when there was severe load shedding. The alarm would not have been working as a result. After I investigated the incident, I prepared a factual report which I sent to Brigadier Nuswa. I had called him to inform him about the incident. He seemed unfazed. There was no steps taken by the provincial office to enhance security, even when the attempted break-in happened. The attempted break-in should at least have raised an alarm, and the provincial office and Brigadier Nuswa in particular. Immediate steps to ensure either the removal or the transfer of the exhibits or to enhance security should have been taken.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we've already gone through paragraph 878. Can we then go to paragraph 79?
79. On the Sunday, the 7th of November 2021, I went to the office to pick up some documents which I needed for the wildlife trafficking workshop that week. I went up the stairs to my office. I did not notice anything untoward. I parked at the bottom gate entrance and went up to my office on the first floor. The entrance was secure by a chain and lock.
Can we then, just to contextualize things, go back to some of the photos so that we see the entrance that you used? Would you, if you go to photo 5 and 6, it's pages 5 and 6 respectively in the annexes. Were those the steps you utilized?
That's correct. Those were the steps,
And then,
Commissioner.
and you parked where in front of that? Where did you park?
Exactly where that BMW is standing.
Okay. And then you alighted and went through the stairs upstairs.
Up to the stairs.
Okay. And it would be possible, who else is in the top floor, in the first floor?
All the management, as well as the admin people, are on the top floor.
So any of them can use that side step.
That's correct.
So if they go up the side step into their offices, they wouldn't know what is happening downstairs. Is that your understanding?
You are correct,
Okay.
Commissioner.
And inside the first floor, in terms of the layout, how do you go down? Is it steps?
There are steps leading down from our boardroom to the bottom.
And it is an open area?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So you would hear if there's any activity,
You should, yeah.
and you would be able to smell anything. Being an open area, obviously.
It's large, it's big.
Yes, yes.
But the possibility is there that you could smell it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go back to your statement. So I think you are in that paragraph 79, you'd start at in that weekend.
In that weekend, we experienced heavy load shedding. As such, even if the alarm had gone off, it would be deactivated by the lack of electricity. I stayed at the office for about an hour, and thereafter I locked up and I left.
Did you activate the alarm when you left?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
On Monday, the 8th of
Just before we go, so in terms of activating the alarm, how is it activated exactly?
each one of us has got a code.
So at each exit, you punch a pin.
At that entrance of ours on top,
Yes.
as well as the bottom one, there's a keypad there where you activate or deactivate it with your pin.
There's doors by the driveway. Also, there's a keypad, I think you said.
There where the BMW is parked, yes.
No. Where there was a driveway where the exhibit.
Those wooden doors there?
Yes, wooden.
No,
There's no keypad.
because nobody goes in there. It's locked from the inside.
Yes, but in terms of accessing the building itself, So if I use that,
You can't. You can't enter it from the driveway.
no,
It's locked.
if I jump over the gate,
Still, you can't access that door. You can't go in there. You must open it from the inside.
no, I understand that, but I'm saying in terms of the alarm.
No, there's no keypad there.
Yeah, so I'm saying if I have the right tools, I can access that without the alarm being triggered.
You will trigger it with the sensors that are in the passage there,
Yes, no,
Yeah.
I understand that,
but you can't deactivate it there.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I can trigger it. I won't be able. It's not triggered just by opening the door, even if I'm breaking in.
No, it will. It's got
It will be.
sensors. It's got sensors on the door.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. All right. Please proceed.
Commissioner, on Monday, the 8th of November 2021, I reported for duty as normal at 0600 hours. I'm usually the first one at the office. I went straight up to my office at the first floor using the external side step. I did not notice anything towards. I also did not smell anything. I then started working.
Sorry, just before you go, you're saying that you started working. When were you supposed to go to the workshop?
I think it was 9:30 that morning.
Oh, it was 9:30. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go upstairs and you didn't smell anything?
No,
Okay.
started working.
Okay. Thanks.
It was about 10 to 7. Warrant Officer BJ Pinar phoned me and said we had a big problem and I must come down to his office. As I was starting to walk down the steps, I could smell a peculiar smell, which you normally have when metal has been grinded open with a metal or steel grinder. When I got down, I saw that the office was, Pinar's office was trashed. I also noticed that the safe door was standing halfway open and the blue chair, which was inside the safe, was standing outside in the passage, and that both locks were grinded off. The passage was covered in dark, powdery substance. I walked to the safe and saw that all the exhibits was taken.
So you say, and obviously you insist that you didn't smell anything or when you got into the office for those 50 minutes.
No, I did not, Commissioner.
Okay. Okay, please proceed.
I walked back to Warrant Officer Pinar's office and saw that entry into his office was gained by forcing open the aluminium window and the complete removal of the burglar bars from the wall. And they then forced open his wooden office door. I attached here 2 pictures taken on the day showing the exterior and interior of the office. These are marked JPP 12.1 to 12.28.
Thank you, Chairperson. We'll just correct the labeling, I think, earlier of these photos. But I do want to go through some of them, but I think we would have adjusted them at some point. If you turn over to these photos, starting at page 123. Perhaps.
Can I go through them, Commissioner?
Yes, you can take us through those photos.
That must be photo 3. It shows the entrance gate to that hardware shop. Photo 4 shows the chain and lock that was cut off. The next two photos, you can also see the one link was cut in half. Photo 7, on page 125, shows those concrete pipes, as well as the next photo on 126. And then on 120.
On the floor there, are those what's that?
Those are the torn open exhibit bags that those bricks of cocaine were in.
So they actually took the exhibits out of the bags?
Yes, they did.
So how would that work? It would mean they will take each brick, put it in another container or bag.
They could have taken those same black carrier bags because that was missing as well.
Okay, the kit bags.
The kit bags, they were sealed in 4 exhibit bags.
Yes.
Was they also gone? It's a possibility that they used the very same bags to put the bricks of cocaine in. If you look at the photo in 127,
Sorry, just before, did they, according to your knowledge, did they remove all the exhibit bags?
from the safe,
No, what I'm trying to, when they removed the bricks from the bags, from the exhibit bags, was that in respect of all or some of them?
all of them.
What could have been just the rationality of that? Why couldn't, if they had time, why couldn't they just take them in the exhibit bags? And
I think the possibility is if they are caught or something with that, it can link them back. Nothing else can link them back, but those exhibit bags can link them back quickly.
obviously they would have drugs, so either
Yeah,
way.
obviously the drugs as well, but I mean, to say exactly where it comes from.
I see, okay.
If you look at 127, some of those bags, they've pushed it into those concrete pipes, the empty bags. Same as in 128, same as in 129. If I can just take you back, Commissioner, to 127. There you can see what the fence looks like between our office and that hardware shop. Very easy for them to get over that. And the window is just there on the left.
So the kit bags were also in their own exhibit bags?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If you look at photo 16 on page 130, Commissioner, there you can see where they broke the window open. And you can see the part of the blind hanging outside there, and you can see that burglar bars is gone in front of that window.
The burglar bars, is it the normal residential burglar bars, or for your police stations and other areas, you use special reinforced steel bars?
They are custom made, they're much stronger, Commissioner.
Okay, so they're not the usual residential?
Not the usual thin ones. These are much, much thicker.
So I would take it, if you were to use a grinder, it's not the grinder that's a normal grinder. It would be some heavy grinder.
Not that thick. You cut that with a normal grinder.
With a normal grinder still?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But if you have a look at on page 131, there you can see they didn't completely, because it's one big burglar bar that covers all 5 of those windows. 2 small ones on either side and the big one in the middle. They've just 2 sides, they got it out of the wall and then they just bent it in so they could get through.
And before this, no one had identified that is even long before this consignment. I'm looking at the picture at photo 16, for example, where you've got that wall and you've got the barbed wire, and then you've got the window. I don't have a sense of the distance between the wall and the window, but no one had identified this proximity, this wall, as a risk factor for the DPCI office. Because, I mean, if someone, it looks like someone could easily scale over that fence. If they cut the fence, they could easily scale over the wall. And there they have access to your yard and they have access to that window. That has never been identified as a risk.
I think that Lieutenant Colonel from CI that gave that report, I think he did indicate it in there, because this is the second time they broke into one of the BJ Pinard's office. Exactly the same window that they broke in previously. The distance, Commissioner, from that wall where you see the barbed wire on and the window sill of our office is less than a meter. So if you're standing on the wall by the barbed wire, one step and you're on the window of our office.
Is it the one in 127, just before photo 10? Is that the distance?
No, not in 127. You can see it better on 130, that one, Commissioner. Or on page 18, on page 131, there you see it the best.
And there had never been a discussion, at least that you're aware of, about fixing this obvious, what looks like an obvious risk, for example, either breaking up the window or making the wall higher. There's never been that kind of discussion about what can we do to reduce this risk.
When we had those different security companies there, we were going to rectify that with beams. It was part of the
plan.
Of the plan, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can you go to page 136?
Yes, Commissioner.
Sorry, that's I'm just saying continue with explanation.
There you can see that these aluminium windows are not very strong. If you push a screwdriver or something in there, the hinges are just pop riveted onto the frame. So it's very easy. You just put a strong screwdriver in there and you pop them out, and this is what happened here. So they took the whole window frame off there.
So if you use a grinder, for example, for these Pekla bars, it would make a lot of noise, isn't it?
On the outside, yeah.
Okay.
It will be much quieter on the inside for them. Then won't hear it so easily on the outside.
So, and obviously it must have been, well, it would have been over a weekend. No one would hear anything.
No.
And particularly on this day, no one, you had come earlier on the Sunday, that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have noticed this. So perhaps maybe let me phrase this differently.
The possibility is there that I wouldn't have noticed it.
So if on the Monday, Warrant Officer Pinar had not brought this to your attention, you would have, if he was absent for one reason or the other, you would have prepared for your workshop, 9:30, you leave. You wouldn't know.
No, we've got parade every morning, 7:30. We've got parade with all the members.
Okay, so you'd only discover it at that time.
Even before that, because there's other offices there close by there as well.
Okay, and when you on the Sunday that you were there, would you have been able to discover this?
There's a possibility that I wouldn't have. I didn't go into the bottom of the office. I didn't.
So it could have been that this happened on the 6th, on the Saturday,
It could have been.
or the Friday.
I don't think the Friday. Captain Jeza was there on the Saturday. He had to prepare for a High Court case.
Okay.
So he was there basically the whole Saturday.
Okay. So on Saturday, at some point, it could have been the case after he had left,
There's a possibility, Commissioner.
or the Sunday.
There's a possibility.
Then we turn to page 137.
That's just the condition that Warrant Officer Pinaar's office was in. Same as 138.
At this point, who was at the office? Was it just the two of you? At 10 to 7, that is.
He was the first one that saw it,
Yes.
and you could smell it clearly there at the bottom. So I don't think the other members were there yet. I think it was only himself and myself that was there.
What does he say? What does he say? He says we've got a big problem.
Yeah.
And what's that problem? What does he say?
No, I didn't ask him. I went down immediately.
Yes. And then what did you say to him?
I told him, you're right. This is a big problem.
Did you tell him that there were drugs?
At that stage, I didn't tell him yet. It was only after I reported it to Brigadier Newswa, and he said I must get all the relevant role players out. When they arrived there, they asked me what was stolen.
No, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to get at this time that he says there's a big problem. He doesn't know what was stored in the safe.
No, he didn't.
The version that I'll just confirm, I think Major General Sinona said Warrant Officer Pinaar was aware, but I'll just double check that. But according to you, he was not aware, and he didn't seem to be as so shocked that drugs were taken. No, I'm
You said
saying-
something about Brigadier Pinaar, and I didn't. I
So
missed what you said.
they gained the entrance through his office.
Yes.
And then he would have noticed the break-in of the safe.
Oh, I see.
So ordinarily, if he's not aware of what's in the safe, in as much as it's a problem, according to him, it may well have been firearms in the safe or water. I don't know what could have been. And I don't know what the explanation that Colonel Prinsloo would have given to other members when the firearms were moved to the other safe. So I don't know what they said was in that safe. But he would have, ordinarily, we would know exactly what was taken. That's the point I'm trying to get to.
I don't know if Pinaar would have thought that the firearms was in there,
Also, he thought it would have been the firearms.
because the firearms stay in that safe.
Okay. All right, please continue.
If you look at page 139, is also still his office. 140 you can't see so clearly. That's where the door stands open, where you can see that the locks were cut off and that the blue chair is standing outside.
Yeah, so I just wanted to confirm that Major General Sinona's testimony was that at the on the 20th 22nd, he says his testimony was that Warrant Officer Pinar was there. You would disagree with him?
I was not there, Commissioner, so I won't know.
No, when the exhibits came.
No, Pinar was not there when the exhibits came.
Okay, so he's wrong in that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Please proceed.
That photo is not very clear on page 140. If we go to 141, that's the sum of the footprints, shoe prints that are in that. It can be seen in that black dust of the grinding. Same as 142. 143, you can see clearly how the two locks were cut there on the door.
Is this now the outside of the door at page 143?
That's the outside of the door, Commissioner.
Okay.
You can see the two locks that they've cut out. You can see them lying there where it says B1 and B2. Same as page 144. 145, you can see the two locks and that blue chair that I mentioned standing outside. On 146, you can see the inside of the lock that would have been on the inside of the door. .147, you can see that in that black case that's standing there, that was also in the safe. It's a big spotlight a portable spotlight that we use on crime scenes at night. That was also in there. They never touched that. 148 just shows you the floor space where the drugs was. It shows you that those smaller safes used to house the firearms, those were not touched. And 149 just shows paperwork and stuff that is still left in that safe.
Can I just ask, so in that safe, so only they knew or they targeted only the room 22?
That's correct.
And am I understanding that there were no firearms or any exhibit in that room?
Nothing.
Okay. So it was only these items, paper and all of this?
That's correct.
Only. Okay. And they didn't touch room 24?
No, not at all.
So they knew what they were coming for?
They knew what they were coming for and they knew exactly where it was. Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. All right, thank you. In your assessment at the time when you come downtown, when you come from upstairs from your office, and having seen all of this, what's your assessment? Did it seem, obviously, did it seem to you to have been a targeted attack or?
Definitely, Commissioner, definitely. And whoever cut those locks knew exactly what they were doing. Because on the inside of that door, there's special mechanisms. If you don't know exactly where to cut it, you won't be able to open the door. Because there are security stuff built into the door that will stop it from opening, although you've cut the locks out. And they knew exactly how to still open it.
And would you speculate so far as that someone either from your office, alternatively one of the members that came on the 23rd and 24th, and between those days, could be involved? Would you go to that extent of speculation, or it's someone that understood how that safe works?
Commissioner, or somebody that was there when the stuff was delivered. So possibilities what you are mentioning, as well as the members that brought the stuff there, that knew exactly into which safe it went into.
But would they also know the inside of the offices?
Some of them, yeah.
I think we had gone to a point where we said there was no inspection of the offices, and you formed a human chain, and yeah.
Yeah, but from where we entered with the drugs, they would have known in which safe it's going into. That they would have known.
Yes, I'm talking about you mentioning they would have known which section of the safe to target.
Which safe? Which of the two safe to target? Yes, Commissioner.
Okay.
If you look at, Commissioner, if you were there,
Yes, continue.
warrant of subpoenas, when they were there on those 2 dates, warrant of subpoenas, when warrant of Van der Berg assisted him there, warrant of subpoenas door was locked, it was closed. So for a person like that then can think, oh, that's the last office in that passage. And they broke into the last office, the last window. Meanwhile, it's not. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Commissioner?
Please explain
So
again.
it's somebody that was there
Yes, on the 22nd.
on one of those 2 days,
Which
or
is-
on the date they brought it. That by mistake, they broke into the last window of that they thought was the last window in the passage to get entry into the passage. Meanwhile, they broke into Pinar's office.
Oh, I see.
So it's somebody that mistaken himself there, that was there, the door was locked, so he thought it's the last window. Meanwhile, it wasn't.
And obviously, it's a huge consignment
It
that
is.
that was brought in 3 combis, you said.
1 or 2 people wouldn't have been able to. There must have been a couple of people there.
I think you had said around 20 of you were there.
Yeah, say the criminals that came to remove it. 1 or 2 wouldn't have done that.
Yes, no, I'm just trying to highlight that when they came,
Yes,
the human chain was, you said, roughly 20 people.
that's correct, Commissioner.
So they would have needed at least a quarter or half of that number.
That's correct, Commissioner.
All right, and they would have known they wouldn't have come for a small consignment.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Please proceed. Paragraph 83.
We cordoned off the scene. As it was now an active crime scene, I immediately called Brigadier Newswa, informed him about the burglary. He seemed shocked and said he was coming, he was on his way. As this was now a crime scene, we called the Potchefstroom Local Criminal Record Center, Potchefstroom Visible Policing, and the detectives. They came to the scene and inquired as to what was stolen. Before I could tell them, I called Brigadier Newswa again to ask him permission to disclose what was stolen. I did this because of them previously telling me not to tell anybody about the exhibits. Brigadier Newswa said that we must disclose everything. I then informed LCRC and Bispol that it was 541 kilograms of cocaine, valued at over 200 million, that was stolen. They then started to process the scene.
Can I just ask 2 questions from there? Where was, is it Warrant Officer Van der Berg?
In the meantime, he's also arrived at work.
Oh, he had arrived now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, then you say there's 541 kilograms. And Would you have known that because of CJC 202, or you would have relied on what you were told when they brought the exhibits?
Yeah, I knew after Wandafse van der Berg was involved there, I knew how many bricks there were.
So you were certain what was stolen? You were certain what was stolen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, please proceed.
The local criminal record center's main responsibility is crime scene management and to take pictures of the scene for the purpose of forensics analysis in terms of the national instruction. LCRC that is responsible for any scene is the one in whose jurisdiction the crime occurred.
So just to be clear, the crime would have occurred in Potchefstroom,
Yes,
and the relevant LCRC would have been the Potchefstroom one,
that's correct.
right? And would they have had the capacity to process the scene?
Yes, they do have the capacity.
Okay, please proceed.
Brigadier Nuswa then arrived at the scene. Major General Sanona also later arrived. Brigadier Nuswa then called a special team from Durban LCRC. He did not say why he called the Durban LCRC, especially because Potchefstroom LCRC had already started processing the scene.
And did the Potchefstroom LCRC stop with the work, or they worked together with the Durban team?
No, they stopped.
And
Stopped.
what happened? They just stopped and left, or they stopped and watched?
Stopped and watched when these people arrived from Durban.
Okay. Was it explained why there was a special team from Durban?
Brigadier Nuswa didn't specifically tell me. He just wanted that team from Durban to come and assist.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. Proceed.
So, but then would there be a record from LCRC Potchefstroom? I mean, they did come to the scene. They did
Yes.
deploy to the scene.
Yes, there would be a record from
There
them.
would be a record of what they did up to which point. And then there will also be a Durban report.
That's correct, Commissioner. Although we never saw it.
Yes, but ordinarily, in the way
Yes.
things work,
Yes.
the Durban LCRC should also have its own report.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Just to follow up on that, what you've stated, you say you've never seen the Durban record.
No, it was never supplied to us.
Okay.
It was supplied directly to the investigating team from Pretoria, here from Pretoria.
Okay. Okay, please.
Ordinarily, what would have happened? I mean, the crime scene is on your property. Would you ordinarily get a crime scene report? Because it's your location that was affected, and it is goods that were under your roof. They may not belong to you. You lodged the report. You're the one that called Potchefstroom police to report, and you called LCRC. So ordinarily, how does that work? Who does the report go to?
Commissioner, it goes to the investigating officer. Brigadier Sabia, he was in charge of the scene. He's the Ugu District Detective Commander. He came out to the scene. He appointed Sergeant Jones from his office. He was going to be the investigating officer. He then started with his work. Later, it was communicated to us that the team from Pretoria will be investigating the case, not us, our office, or the local detectives would be involved in that.
So the short answer is those reports don't come to you, the LCRC report. They go to the investigating officer.
That's correct,
All
Commissioner.
right, thank you.
Please proceed.
Brigadier Sabia was in charge of the scene. He later appointed Sergeant Jones to be in charge of the scene and the investigating officer. The break-in was widely reported, and it seems it was a appreciated that the office was not suitable. I attach here to one of the newspaper articles marked JJP 13.
Thank you for the record. JJP 13 appears at page 151 of the annexes. That's just a newspaper report highlighting some commentary from an expert about the security of the place, but that's as far as we can take it. Please go to your paragraph 87.